Hi, Adam. My name is Haellie, and I'm the social worker assigned to your case. There's a couple things I want to go over first before we get started, and that's kind of super upfront, but I just want to go over confidentiality and talk to you about that everything in this room that is said stays here, and um, I do have to let you know that by law I am a mandated reporter, so if at any time a situation comes up or something is said that you want to, or harm is going to be done to you or someone around you, I have to report that by law. And during our session today, I'm going to be taking notes just to kind of refresh my memory before our next meeting. And if you want to look at them at any time, you're more than welcome to, just kind of for my reference. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Do you have any questions or anything for me before we get started?
No.
Okay, so why did you think of me today, Adam? What do you need to talk
Well, basically, I'm on probation with the courts, and it's been going fine on my end so far. I mean, there's nothing that I do that can get me in trouble. I'm in total compliance with them. Problem is that some of my friends that I used to run around with, they weren't just uh, friends I got into trouble with, or I didn't just meet them uh, uh, because of what I got in trouble for. Like I wasn't just running around with them because they were all addicts. I've known these people since I was like 6 years old.
So these are deep relationships.
Yeah, very. And one of them is just recently broke his leg, and he never stopped using. And I got my act together years ago, but he just he's I guess you could say he's got rich parents, and they enable him a lot. And he's never really hit a true bottom. He always makes his bottoms really soft. Like he's been in the hospital for something like really serious, and it could have been like the perfect opportunity to have like an intervention or whatnot, but no, or let him feel the pain. So uh, he has a reference in his mind for next time when he, decides to relapse. Maybe he can think about, you know what, that really, really hurt that time. Nope, no, his mom will like bring him a brand new Xbox, video games, and he'll order the nurses around, and he'll have like his parents like bring him freaking, whatever he wants to eat. He won't eat the hospital food, so he's like, oh, mom, get down here, bring me some Subway. And she'll be, oh, I'll be there in a few minutes. But anyways, that's kind of beside the point. The point is that he is actually ripped his leg apart recently, and in a snowboarding accident, and he wants me to get him medication, painkillers, and benzos, which is not necessarily it's not that big of a deal in my mind. Like, I mean, he is in pain, but he's putting me in a very awkward position because if I get caught getting this kind of stuff for him, which I really don't even have that many connects anymore. I just like it would take a lot of effort for me searching for this stuff, and that kind of effort makes you more exposed to getting in a higher chance of getting in trouble. I don't just have like a person I could call like I used to years ago, and he's not just asking me to get him drugs. He's relying on our friendship, for me to come through for him. So he's putting me in a really awkward position, and I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what's best, if friendship's more important, or if me, staying off the radar and not getting in trouble You know, because I have so much going on right now. Uh, I don't know.
So it sounds like you've already weighed your options about this friendship.
I've discovered my options. I haven't weighed them yet.
Okay, so that's maybe something we could work on together?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back real quick. Is this a friend that you've had for a long time, or is it more of like a?
Yeah, I've probably known him since I was 8 years old. Yeah, we went to school together for most of that time. I mean, our families are close. He's, I don't know, caused all sorts of hell together when we were younger, but yeah, he's just a really good friend that I've known for a long time.
Have you thought about maybe having this conversation with him?
I don't know how to put it because he is really pushy, which I don't, I'm not like I'm afraid of him or or I'll do anything he says. Just that's not the kind of relationship we have. But he's very pushy, and he is in pain right now, and he's an addict. And when addicts want something, their drug, they will push as hard as they can to get it. So what makes me afraid of that is I'll start. I know he'll bring up, you know, our past, like are we friends, and you know how much shit I've done for you in the past, which he has. And uh, so yeah, we're old friends,
Okay.
deep relationship.
Are your guys' families friends, or is it more just like the two of you?
Our families don't hang out or anything, but they know each other, and it's mainly me and him. Yeah.
Okay. Are you closer with his parents? Is he close with your parents, or is it more just?
No, his mom. I remember how I mentioned his mom kind of enables him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that usually tends with mothers to make that coincides with they kind of put the blame of their kids' problems on their friends or who they hang out with. So no, I don't have a close. I have a okay, like we can talk socially, but I know that she probably doesn't like me too much.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you're very frustrated about this matter.
I am.
Is it affecting you in any other ways? Sleeping, eating, socially?
Well, yeah, yes. It just is adding a lot of stress to an already stressful time period. And I just do not, I guess it's like, yes, I get a lack of sleep because like in my head, I'm like, I do not want to get busted on probation and go to jail. It would screw up so many things in my life, and my kid would be at home alone, and it's just not, you know.
It seems like you've worked really hard to get to where you are at this point, and you're working really hard to maintain that, and this is more of like a place where it could bring a fall back.
Yeah, it could. It could bring a really big fallback because I'm not really in the game anymore, and so I would really have to expose myself, and just it's risky. It's really risky.
Well, I think you're being strong for not falling back into that habit or doing what it is your friend wants you to do, even though you know it's not in the best interest for either of you. Okay, so. Um, Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit more of what you do outside of this situation? Do you work? Do you go to school?
Yes, I work full time. I'm sorry, I go to school full time. I have a family at home. I work 3 to 5 days a week at a restaurant, so I usually am working pretty late. And I guess maybe that's what adds to the stress is I'm already kind of stressed out from my workload from school and personal and work. But yes, I go to school full time and I work. I have family.
Um, so do any of those factors are influenced by this friend? Like, does he come to your house? Is he?
He, yes, the house is where it gets influenced, and maybe a little bit at my work because, as I said earlier, he is very forceful,
Persistent?
persistent. Like he will show up at my house.
Wow.
Yes, and my wife has made it specifically uh, clear to me that she, wants nothing to do with him and doesn't even want me. Well, basically, not just want. She's got her foot down and she's like, no, do not do this. And I got him, who I also care about, like equally, uh, giving me the exact opposite. And so yeah, he'll do things like show up at the house or call me while I'm at work, show up at my work. Um, yeah.
Has he ever been violent or threatened anyone to you or your wife?
Oh, me and him have never ever gotten violent with each other, but he can be a very violent person, yes.
So do you think if it got to that point, it might progress into something more?
Oh God, no. He wouldn't ever like, get physically pushy or aggressive. He will just use the he'll mentally attack.
Is it to the point where your wife doesn't want him around at all? She doesn't want you to have any contact with him, or?
Not necessarily. She's pretty. I usually have pretty good boundaries with my friends and my wife, and she doesn't tell me who I can and cannot hang out with. But in this, and I say the same with her. But in this instance, where me getting in trouble and going to jail, that that is her. That's her life too. That's getting messed with.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about your probation and your probationary officer? Are you guys on good terms? Are you?
Yeah, when I originally um, sobered up off of drugs, I or off binging or just being around them, I went to court after I had already kind of put all that stuff behind me. So the probation officer I've never had a problem with because um, I've always been in compliance with them. So it's I'm not on bad terms with him at all. And he's not watching me, but that's just another thing that if something bad happens with this, then I could extend my probation. He could watch me a whole lot more. Just he could send me to jail, which if I got caught with something, then he probably would send me to jail. But as of now, we're good.
Good. Well, sounds like that's something that's a strength for you. You have made it this far and you've decided not to go back. You've decided not to um, provide your friends with things that could have a negative influence on your life and the people around you. So that's a really good thing to hold on to. Alright, so unfortunately it is running towards the end of our session for today, but I did want to point out that it is very a strength of yours that you have not fallen back into the life that you've previously lived and that you are standing strong to all these negative influences coming around you. I'm glad that we were able to talk about your the ability to not fall into that and to stay out of that lifestyle and still remain his friend and be there for him, even though you're not necessarily giving him what he needs or wants from you. And so for our next session, we can talk about ways to keep you from falling back into that or to maintain that relationship in a way that is kind of like, hey, I want to be your friend, but I'm not going to pass that line.
I'd like that because I'm having a really hard time figuring out how specifically to deal with that and tell him.
Well, it sounds like a very critical issue, so thank you for coming to talk to me today, and I will see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.